I know that the quality was kind of low in the last one, and it didn't help the fact that I actually lost the run, but I've tinkered with the quality a little bit, and I think I found a way to make my incredibly shit computer actually work when it comes to streaming the Binding of Isaac. So today we're playing as Maggy. From what I've learned, this character has very, very shit speed. Other stats not that great either, but she's got a lot of base health, which really, really helps. So yeah, basically, like, I discovered that my computer is actually really showing its age. That's great. Speed. We need speed. Like, if I record at too high resolution, it seems to just lose entire sections of the recording. So I didn't actually look through my entire recording last time, and I think that half of the recording might have actually just been at like 1 frame per second, which would be a complete bummer. But I didn't actually look through the recording, mainly because I'm kind of embarrassed by the sound of my own voice. And who isn't? I mean, that's like a pretty universal condition, I think. But I'm getting into the whole streaming thing. I kind of want to learn how to just be able to speak at length without really having a lot to talk about. I think it's a really useful skill. I've always felt like socializing, and this by extension kind of are one of those things that if you don't use it, you'll lose it, you know? Kind of like how if we don't find a bomb this level, we're going to lose the 3000th place. Yeah. So I actually recorded a daily yesterday, which would have been my second one, but I lost the entire thing because when I looked at the recording afterwards, there were huge swaths of it that just didn't appear. I thought that the recording quality of the first, daily was so bad because I'd never really tinkered with the quality before, that I decided to try and put it up to the highest resolution that I could and put it on to 60 frames per second. And that's when I discovered, after wasting about an hour, that my computer just can't handle it. But on the bright side, I managed to get about like 400th place, which is a real step up for me because as I was remarking in the actual recording, I didn't think I was even going to survive the entire thing, which would have been a little bit embarrassing because it was, as far as I remember, not in a Zazel run, or was it? Okay, well, it was an easier run. Not necessarily easy, I mean, for me to have gotten that place in the first place. Well, let me rephrase that. Great health, that's exactly what we need. I'm not the best at this, but I managed to get 400th place, so I was really, really happy about that. Let me just leave it at that. And like I said in the last daily, which didn't record properly, that at this point in my sort of daily career, if you can call it that, I'll be happy just to finish the run. I'm not good at this game. I know that I'm making a mod at the moment. It's mainly after actually watching a bunch of streams just like this one, which I do almost habitually before I go to bed every night. And I figured if I was going to mod the game, then I might as well kind of get good at it, or at least play it like on a daily basis. And that's my second incentive for actually doing these dailies in the first place. So yeah, just so if you get your hopes up, just thought I'd preemptively shield myself from shame and tell you that I'm not the greatest at this game. But I have the knowledge, I think. I mean, there's a lot of items that I don't actually know about in this game, and I never really bothered to look up. Like, a lot of effects just completely elude me, and I just kind of like discovering it as I go along, like a certain other person. So you might have noticed that I'm following the industry standard format of Binding of Isaac runs, which is to just kind of create one on a daily basis with an odd title. And really, it works. So the third incentive for me to actually do these dailies is that I can't really put out speed paints every single day. I mean, some of these creatures take like 2 or 3 days to actually do. But this channel and the stream by extension are big projects for me. I mean, I really love doing this. So I just kind of wanted something to fill the air a little bit, you know? Like, while I'm doing these streams, I can talk about the mods and, what I'm currently working on and stuff like that. Maybe even some stuff about, like, Crimson Spiral and all that. And just kind of, like, talk to fans, too. Like, and I think this is a really nice way to do it. Like, I'm playing the game that I'm actually modding, and yeah, that's all I have really to say about that. Okay, we have no bombs, and we have no keys. And we have so much to benefit out of both of those things. Kind of wish that I had managed to get to the coast room before I used that Hierophant card, but it'll do. Ace of Hearts, that's exactly what we need right now. I can't get the item room, and I can't get both of those other rooms. So this really blows. So just checking up on my CPU, like I say, when it goes over about 70%, that's when everything just goes to hell. So I'm really hoping that they'll show some mercy on me and actually give me an item that gives me a key or a bomb, or hopefully both. But I don't hold up high hopes for that. Let me just get rid of these guys first before I ignore them and they end up costing me my life. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but there's a new time-lapse up yesterday. Speaking of time-lapses, I just created the fatty for the Binding of Isaac. Like I said before, I'm trying to get through all the basement enemies first so I can actually release a beta. And once I get to the beta or alpha, I can actually give it to you guys. And then, you know, just procedurally kind of add more and more creatures or items as the game goes on. I was considering kind of doing 1 or 2 items today because they're very like quick to do. But I need to work on my personal projects as well. I'm sorry to say that. Crimson Spiral has been collecting dust on the shelf for a while now, and it really deserves some TLC. For those who don't know, Crimson Spiral is the game that I'm making, and have been making for a very long time, but I'm finally getting a little bit more proactive about it. It's kind of like a fighting game meets Lero at the moment. I mean, I don't really know how much I can say about it aside from that. But, I mean, I told myself that I was going to release a beta or an alpha like for that in December, and I never really got around to that. So I want to see both of these projects come to completion. And to that end, I've actually created a proper schedule. Now that the stream is kind of, my sales are starting to full with that. And I make sure that I spend at least 3 days a week working on Trauma and 2 days a week working on Crimson Spiral. So I'm not really sure how I can add videos for Crimson Spiral, like time-lapses and stuff like that, because these sprites take a very long time. And I'm kind of worried about putting up time-lapses that only have like half a character produced. So I'll have to think about how I can actually add that. But I do feel like putting up videos for Crimson Spiral in the first place. Today, though, I'm thinking of actually creating the cover for the first sort of graphic novel in the series. It's evolved and changed a lot, which sounds good, but I'd really much rather have something that was finished than something that's changing all the time. Not that I don't want change in the game, but I'd rather have that change come when the game is actually finished. And I got a bad habit of changing my mind on a game's production once I've started it. Which isn't to say that I'm going to change things with Trauma. I'm quite happy with the format that I've got going on, and there's not much more to really say about it. I mean, I'm just sort of taking the sprites and making them high def, you know, trying to apply some kind of knowledge about lighting and texture and that sort of thing to it. But with Crimson Spiral, it's a different beast. I mean, you can ask my friends. My friends can attest to the fact that I've redesigned my characters maybe like 3 or 4 times each, and it's actually getting kind of ridiculous. I mean, I remember the one time I decided after reading Gantz that I was going to sit down and vectorize the lines for every single character in incredibly finite detail, and I managed to do 1 frame in maybe like 2 months. Like, it takes forever. At the moment it's pixel art, but I'm kind of getting this nasty feeling that pixel art's going out of fashion, which I don't really want to believe, and I do think that's kind of sensationalism, but it led to me kind of wanting to make it either vectorized or 3D, you know? So I mean, for Copperhead, one of the characters, I've literally made a 3D model, vector art that's line art and just regular art, a sort of messy pixel art style and a much more exact pixel art style. But what I have right now is kind of like, it's a little bit rough, it's a little bit clean, it looks almost like something out of Street Fighter 3, which is what I was going for in the first place, and I'm happy enough with it. I don't think that I should sit down and vectorize the artwork for it, or it's just going to take forever. I mean, that sort of thing requires like a proper team. I know that the people from King of Fighters actually had to create like a proper workflow, because it would also just take forever for them to do the sprites for every single character. I mean, they were talking about like something like months just to have like the just the drafts for characters, not even like the final like version. And even with that new style that they made, which is partially 3D and partially rotoscoped, it still takes them months to do a single character. So they got a whole team like doing that, and those games, they take a while to do. So at least I have a key now, and I'm really, really, really hoping that this item gives me some damage, because we're severely lacking in that department. Okay, reroll rewards. I don't think that most dailies actually have the time to really get the benefit out of this item, but I'm going to take it with me anyways, because it's got to be better than Maggy's heart, or Yum Heart, sorry. Well, this doesn't seem right. Wow. Yeah, I gotta say, I'm really looking forward to animating those guys. Like, are you kidding me right now? Yeah. And I do mean that sarcastically. Just a bunch of fleshy dudes with no arms and legs licking each other's asses. Actually, the one thing that I'm dreading the most, probably with the trauma mod, is just creating shit enemies, because... And I mean literal shit enemies, enemies made out of shit, because I have to sit down. Oh, God. Fuck. Holy crap. Yeah. I have to sit down and I have to do a bit of research on the texture of crap, which is just so much fun. But don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm sure I can find the enjoyment out of it somehow. And I've never really learned how to create the material for crap, so I guess this will be a real learning experience. But all jokes aside, there are some enemies that I'm looking forward to more than others. And I'm actually looking forward to doing the shit enemies more than I am doing... Holy crap. Ah, are you kidding me? Okay, well, we lost our Devil Deal Chancer, even though it was only about 50%? Yeah. So, yeah, the thing that I'm looking forward to the least is probably actually Delirium. I think he's just going to take forever. At least, like, I'll have the frames that I've done before, I can kind of, like, skin them and maybe make it a little bit quicker, but it's every single boss in the game. Like, it's going to take a long time, like, no matter what happens. So, if you'll just give me 1 minute. Yeah, so, God, insult to injury. Where was I? Yeah, Delirium. But one thing I'm looking forward to is actually doing the Void Floor. Like, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Because there's so much room for design. I mean, don't get me wrong, like, I like the idea. Okay, I really got to remember that. Those bombs take a second or more to explode. Don't get me wrong, I like the concept behind the Void, but it's just reskinned all the floors. I mean, there's a lot of design room there. I could make it a little bit more interesting. Range, come on. Well, we're still kind of on schedule, right? Somebody out there has found a way to get enough bombs and keys for everything in this run, surely. And I'm going to slap myself in the head when I discover how it was done. Yeah, the Void Floor is going to be really interesting. A couple of others. I've been thinking about adding new floors, but that's only going to come after I've done everything that already exists in the game. I had this idea for one floor where it's kind of like it's like an arcade-themed floor, Maybe like a haunted arcade. And it's still kind of got that grim feeling of the Binding of Isaac, but it's also got that like sarcastic feeling where everyone's kind of like in the arcade, the fatties and these guys. Imagine them all with a little like, cups and like the neon lights above them, and they're all kind of having fun, but they're still miserable because this is the Binding of Isaac after all. So it's kind of got that sarcastic vibe to it, But it would complement it like really well, I think. Sorry, I need to make sure that that's still not showing up. My friend just kind of picked the worst time to message me. Yeah, a couple of other ideas. I saw the trailer for the new Alien Covenant, and I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit disappointed with Prometheus when it came out, but I would also be lying if I said that I wasn't excited for the new movie. And when I saw the trailer, I thought it kind of reminded me of Robot Johnny, the music video by Aphex Twin, and I really want to create a creature like that, God, I'm really regretting not taking that Yum Heart now. Yeah, just like a boss. I'm sorry, a boss, not a creature. And maybe some creatures to go with him as well. In the dank depths, just like, these monsters that have never seen the light of day. And of course, like, mutated looking kids and stuff like that. God, this is a nightmare. I'm gonna actually find some value out of that Ace of Hearts after all if we get a single consumable. Luck stat's on 0 too, so it's not exactly like we're suffering on that stat. I have to, I gotta use this. It's the only way. Half a heart. Well, yeah, okay. I could have picked up the nickel, I suppose, and turned the rest of these coins into hearts, but could have, would have, didn't. I'm determined to make it to the end of this run, though. If I survive, I'll see it as a win. And quite frankly, like, I'm quite surprised actually when the scrolls come through. I always think that I'll be doing like horrifically because sometimes I don't get boss rush or stuff like that. But honestly, you know, I've had worse. Oh, God, I'm still in starting damage, I think. 3.5. Fantastic. This is just lovely. I forgot to mention, for those of you that don't know yet, there's a link to my Discord channel now, if you want to join in for conversations when I'm off stream. It's on my Twitch stream at the moment, but I'll leave the link below if I remember. And for those of you that are worrying that this is going to kind of overtake the actual art stuff, I haven't given up on the mod. Haven't given up on my artwork. Again, I mean, this is just kind of something to fill the air when I don't have something that's ready to be shown off yet, you know? The bats. These guys I'm looking forward to as well. Like, it's all the enemies that have space on them to add something else, you know? Like the texture of the actual bats themselves. I mean, look at their eyes. Like, it doesn't look like that much interesting, but they got these huge white eyes with no pupils, and these little teeth. It's so creepy. Like, just add a bit of detail onto that and it'll look really terrific. It makes me excited. What we need right now is a tinted rock for sure. Or I'm not going to make it through this. At least there's a heart there. Wouldn't hurt to go to a store as well. In fact, this floor, I'm definitely going to go to a store instead of the item room. I think that should always be the case, you know. Because there's always a chance that there's another key and maybe you'll discover something that's even more worthwhile. Whereas with an item room, you just never know what you're going to get. Like a box of chocolates. Sorry, that was lame. I don't know what I was saying. So, yeah. I redesigned the spiders the other day. I'm quite proud of that. I didn't expect how creepy they would look in the actual game. Try to make them very leggy. I gave the flies legs, but I'm not too happy. Okay, I'm getting out of there. There's nothing worth staying for. I put legs on the flies, but I'm not really enjoying it too much. I might actually redo the pooter and the regular fly, because they don't really... okay, the flies don't look enough like the regular flies, and... God, this is... Okay, I need to concentrate. This is terrible. What the fuck? Okay, concentrate on dodging, not attacking. Dodging. Killing. Flies! No! I'm gonna die in this fucking room. Are you kidding me right now? God damn it! Fuck! Okay, I gotta survive. I gotta survive. Gotta survive! Fuck me sideways. Die, you fucking cunt! Ah! No! Oh, God. Well... Second run, and both of the first two ones have been deaths. Well, on the bright side, it looks like I wasn't the only one who died so early. But the run's only been around for about 3 hours. Oh, God. Like nothing, no consumables at all. Did I have a bomb in the beginning and just waste it? That was a fuck up. I'm sorry. Maybe next time will be better. The real irony is that, yesterday's run I actually won, and then I just completely lost it. Well, fuck. Anyways, there'll probably be a new video up for this comic cover either today or tomorrow. But thank you for joining me on this failed run. I don't know what to say, and I'll see you next time.